Starting on Monday, all air travelers returning from non-essential international trips will have to isolate in an approved facility at their own expense. Today, the federal government released the list of 11 approved hotels where travelers will spend their mandatory 3-day quarantine. But as Mike Drolet explains, some Canadians have found legal loopholes.
This is our quarantine quarters.
Monica Gibbs isn't looking for sympathy after a winter with her 3 kids in Barbados. The Caribbean nation offered Canadians the opportunity to live and work virtually on an almost COVID-free island.
There's our...
And it was paradise until COVID-19 restrictions came into effect in January.
So you can only leave for groceries, doctor's appointments, or pharmacy. And this weekend is full lockdown, so you actually can't leave your property.
She was already thinking of returning when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced on January 29th all travelers flying into Canada would have to quarantine for up to 3 days. It was mandatory, and Trudeau warned it would be expensive.
Travelers will then have to wait for up to 3 days at an approved hotel for their test results at their own expense, which is expected to be more than $2,000.
The rules are strict. Only travelers who don't have symptoms can go outside for limited and monitored outdoor time.
Well, I'm comfortable saying that 100% of my client base wants nothing to do with this hotel quarantine that goes into effect.
The only way around it is by applying for compassionate grounds or by driving over the border. Call it a loophole, but it's legal. And with no direct flights from Barbados to Toronto, the Gibbs family is flying into Buffalo, New York, where they have to take the second of their 3 PCR tests. And instead of going back to the airport for a short flight, they hired a shuttle to drive them home, where they'll quarantine.
I don't want to be locked up in a room with my 3 kids for 3 days. That doesn't sound right.
And remember that $2,000 Trudeau quoted? That's not right either, because the government is now saying the hotels set the rates. We called, and the average is around $450 per night for 2 people.
Not to say that's not a lot of money, but it is not coming in at what was the initial comments and put fear into a lot of people.
The rules go into effect on Monday. Will these hotels be full, or will Canadian travelers find a workaround? Mike Drolet, Global News, Toronto.